Don't follow your little YouTube idols or prophets, but stop it. Your booty's not vital to our survival. Hand on the Bible, I'm swearing to God. No matter if you pray to Allah, we brothers, brother. It's all love. So Salaikum salam.
In the debate from last night with Lamont Hill, pretty wild moment that we're about to see. Absolutely. The only thing I'll add, Gavin, I think that CENK might be savvy enough to know that this is not going to grow the YouTube platform of the Young Turks, but he's making a more cynical.
CENK, Alawink is a fat, fraudulent fuck. He been racist for a long time. I basically, specifically for me, I jumped off board with the whole, I've always been against affirmative action. I told my wife, I said, you know what? I can't fuck with them no more after that. And I started going down the rabbit hole with her. Like, you can tell there's a little anti-black sentiment there. Before we even start this reaction to the reaction of the Vanguard, you know, my two white cousins right here, you know, I ain't gonna really go at them too hard, but it's some shit that need to get corrected in this reaction, specifically because the need for black content creators is so important, and I'm going to show you how in this reaction to the reaction. Much respect to these two brothers, though. They definitely seem like their heart is in the right place, you know what I'm saying? But they still need a little bit more education, as we might say in our community, about certain things. Know what I mean? And so, on that note, let's go ahead.
I want to pitch to you guys. I kind of hinted at it earlier, right? That he was auditioning for the Turning Point USA donor class, right? Not the people who were sitting in that audience. I think what he's gambling on, I think that from a business perspective, if the final straw was actually the tenant media scandal, when he realized how much money was at play. And I think it really became clear to me when I watched him sit in that room with Tim Pool, and I
see what had happened was, you know, they underestimated the fact of, he already said that 80% of their subscribers on TYT are 30 plus white males. This is what he said once upon a time. And so when he came on Black Star Network, Roland Martin, to debate Unc about why he was running for presidential nomination, which was totally out of left field, mind you, it was months or a year after the little anti-black comment that he made about affirmative action, when I knew that they was on some bullshit. But see, y'all are white boys, so no offense, but y'all don't look at it through the same soulful lens that we look at it through. See, when we look through the lens, we looking through the lens, and that lens got a little bit of seasoning pepper on it. It got a little salt. It got some seasoning on it. Y'all looking through the lens, and you know, you just seeing purity. You know, shit that you've always felt was pure. And once again, I'm going to show you what I mean. No disrespect, because y'all definitely seem like some allies, but trust me, y'all need a little bit more education. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to try to be standing with us, you know what I'm saying, like y'all portraying or seem like y'all are. So we're going to find out. But like I said, CENK, this ain't no money play. It was always about anti-blackness. And now, including y'all in a way, even if you might not recognize it, what y'all are basically saying is, this black bitch better not ever run again. They better not ever try to run a black bitch ever again in their life. That is what this all was about. This whole smear campaign. Little light story. I lost two brothers when I was young. And when my brothers was killed by a white lady who was racist as shit and her little companions, the police asked my mom, well, were they in a gang? Were they drug dealers? Mind you, my older brother who passed, who was killed, literally already had got his acceptance letter to Michigan State College, you know, the Spartans. And so he wasn't no gangbanger or no drug dealer, but it's the mentality of white folk. If we can smear who they was, then how the fuck they get killed ain't gonna matter no more. See, if we could smear Kamala Harris' name, they won't ever try to run a black bitch ever again. Once again, I am going to show you why it's very important, very necessary for content creators to keep making content to speak truth to power, because everybody can try to manipulate it and duplicate it, but we originated. If you gonna speak the truth to power, you gotta put some motherfucking truth and some power on that shit. Y'all ain't really doing that the whole way through. Y'all coming like this, but y'all ain't coming with the uppercut. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just here to lay the uppercut. That's why I'm here.
Face the look of a broke guy. Nobody knows the look of a broke guy better than me. Many times I've sat at the table like Mike McDermott.
Then looked at broke when he was running for president and came on Black Star Network and niggas was like, we ain't fucking with you. He mad. He big man.
That familiar face of a broke guy who was really not sure how he was going to make it work. And I realized in this grand game of capitalism, no matter how high you climb, there's always the look of a broke guy not too far from your eyes, right? And I think what he's decided is these really, really, really rich, really out of touch, 75 and up.
75 and up. Lord, we got the pause on that one. Do this brother know that they was walking around in white neighborhoods handing out pamphlets, young 25-year-olds like little Mormons, handing out pamphlets to join white supremacy, you know, or white nationalists? They were being indoctrinated and brought into membership. But homie, these ain't no 70, 75 plus. These is young white motherfuckers who've always been able to ride through life on daddy's coattails and how good he did at the business and how the family business from the 1940s when we were still slaving niggas is doing and making money. And so we good. He been riding them coattails for the past goddamn 20, 30 years. And now he actually has to compete at this job. He got to compete at this college. He got to compete with somebody else who ain't white-skinned. I'm just saying.
Right? It's how old heads that don't understand the business thing, okay? And that's what Jake wants to exploit now. He says, okay, my time of honesty is over. Now it's my time of retirement. Now it's my time of cashing in, selling out, okay? This is the Victory Lap Tour. This is my Sneaker Box album. What do you think about that guy?
Oh, 100%, 100%. And he claimed in this interview with Mark Lamont Hill that he did not get paid to do that appearance at America Fest. Sounds fishy to me. I mean, I'm not going to say that he's lying. I'm not going to say that he literally straight up lied about not getting paid. But you're 100% right, Zach. What this is his entry into that world. And traditionally, yeah, you do get paid to appear at something like CPAC, you know, to be on one of those lineups. So if he keeps going in this direction, 100% that's where the money is. 100% that's where the money is. And not just from conferences like CPAC and America Fest and all that kind of shit. But
this is about anti-blackness. Y'all just don't want to say it because y'all still hovering. Y'all got that cloud hovering over y'all. It ain't a big cloud, but it's hovering. Y'all are literally feeling the raindrops. It's messing with your head. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking at it clearly. Dude, don't. If it was about the money, he would have been fucking went there. That MAGA been grifting. They've been making money grifting. This is about anti-blackness. Black folks was getting way too much. God damn it, they got the Crown Act, they got the Juneteenth. These niggas is getting too much, and we ain't getting shit. And a lot of y'all feel the same way. To be honest with you, you might not be able to identify it, but you do.
From their audience because people were dedicated to the mission. They wanted to chip in. They wanted to help build something bigger. So, you know, it's a shame, and that's part of why we talk about this so much. It's like if Bernie Sanders ran again in 2028, but he's like, this time we're taking corporate money, and, you know, George Soros is going to be my #1 donor.
First of all, Bernie Sanders is just an old white man that y'all can trust. His ass was never gonna win. He never will win. He old as hell. And I don't even know why y'all steady acting like Bernie Sanders is the white horse or something. He just as anti-black as CENK is. Jink, CENK, Alawink, I don't give a hell what his name is. Bernie Sanders is full of shit. Period. And that goes, hey, much love and respect to Nina Turner. You know, I got respect for that sister, but I don't know what the fuck she be on either. At the end of the day, this is not about black folks going along to get along. This is not about us standing by some white man because he always, I ain't Lil Wayne. You know, I'm going to ride with whoever the fuck is willing to ride or die with me. See, y'all, a lot of y'all problem is, especially white folks, I'm sorry. Y'all will ride, but that other part, hey, that's a little bit too steep now. I mean, think about it. You look at all the old school movies from back in the day, all the slave movies, all the civil rights movies. You never seen a white motherfucker go up on the noose with the nigga. Rarely. And when it did, it was accidentally. They didn't get a choice. Hey, you come over here with us, nigga, or you hanging. Like it was never nothing like that. Because whenever it's a situation like that, they ain't fun to die with your motherfucking ass. They'll ride, but they ain't gonna die.
That's the first donor.
Medicare for all? Problematic. Yeah, it has nothing to do with our shared faith. That was not the point that my co-host was making. It had nothing to do with that.
Exactly.
Anyway.
But yeah, let's get into this, guys. Shout out to Mark Lamont Hill. I watched the majority of this interview live on his show last night. I thought he did a pretty good job. I have a few notes, but over.
See what I mean? A few notes. Boy, you see what I mean? The caucasity of the whole situation. No offense, once again, like I said, I'm not making this reaction to try to cook y'all or nothing, but like the caucasity, I got notes. Boy, who is you? When we talking about this motherfucker protecting black lives and, you know, fighting for black liberation and freedom and life and all those things, how the fuck this is what this conversation is about? This was never about him standing with MAGA, because MAGA effectively is against the life and humanity of black folk. So therefore, you can't take no fucking notes on this, homie. Once again, excuse my French, but look, man, y'all playing in people's faces, you know, and I get it. Y'all are talking to that crowd that left CENK and TYT. Those 30 plus 35-year-old white men who are more comfortable seeing two white males, were in the words of Jane Elliott, you know, pale, stale white males talk about fighting for justice and fighting for political stance, which is some shit that black folks have always had to do, literally ride and died for. You know, it's just more palatable if y'all say it. It's more acceptable if it's coming from y'all. Because if it's coming from me, that shit's coming from out the mud. It's not coming with no guardrails of my old granddaddy who voted for MAGA. My granddaddy voted for MAGA. His ass ain't coming to Thanksgiving. If he is coming, his old ass is gonna get some smoke. Much respect to you, Pop, but you catching this smoke. See, y'all ain't like that, though. Y'all willing to, oh, well, you know, they're still, fuck that. And so, like I said, no offense, but y'all are saying soft, anti-black-ish type shit, and you gotta be careful, man. No offense. Like I said, you know, I'm a nobody, you know, when it comes to YouTube. You know, in my city, I'm a big deal.
No, it's not, Cenk. Don't act like you're above criticism when it comes from your audience. We've watched you and Anna both melt down to random YouTube members who begin their question with, hey, I've sent $5 every month for the last 6 years. I've noticed a little bit of a pivot. And then you go on and gaslight them. To be fair, Cenk is a lot more well-receiving of critics on air at TYT than Anna Kasparian has been. She's the one that really lost it. But he has had absolutely no good faith response to any of his actual critics who work with him at TYT, right?
It's completely ridiculous of Cenk to act like, oh, well, because so far my grift has completely failed, therefore it's not a grift. No, dude, that just means that you're bad at doing what you're trying to do.
Other left-wing hosts say they already have done that. That's just a lie. And so that is deeply problematic that we have a bunch of hosts out there saying things that aren't even close to true. They never checked. They never asked. At least you asked, Mark, and I appreciate you asking. So people have to be concerned about where they're getting their news, and unfortunately, some folks on our side also have bad intent.
I think that's when he says some folks on our side have bad intent. He's talking about humble little podcasts like the Vanguard, dude. If you're getting smoked by a show out of a bedroom and you have 75 employees in a studio called the Poly Market Studio, okay, maybe a bigger fish to fry. Maybe it's actually a you problem. Maybe it's something that you fucked up. Maybe it's not us being bad faith actors. Okay, maybe people are pointing out a real problem that you should correct.
Charlie Kirk is somebody, obviously, you're okay sharing stage with. We talked about, we contrasted him to Nick Fuentes. Would you share a stage with Nick Fuentes?
No. In fact, I was on the Spaces on X, and he joined and I left. And so, yeah, there's a line, right? And I
What's the line?
often, grapple with that line myself, right?
What is the line for you, right? And I know it's provisional. We all what is the line in general?
Yeah, mine is when your main thesis is white supremacy,
Charlie Kirk.
racism,
Charlie Kirk.
anti-Semitism,
Charlie Kirk.
Islamophobia, word, right? So or defense nonsense, right? That's good enough. No, I have no issue, right?
So I guess that's where I get confused. I saw this from 1023 where you called Trump a Nazi.
Yeah, that's
we share a stage with Trump and share at the stage of an event that supports the movement of a Nazi. And what's the difference?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the title or if I actually said that, but it's in quotes, so maybe I did.
He says it on a Crystal Kyle and Friends interview. Conveniently enough, Gavin, it's the same clip that's viral on YouTube that includes him saying he will take super PAC money as president.
I have the video. I can play it.
Yeah, okay, no, if you say it, and I know there's some people who are sending around videos, I believe it. So what I try to do is, I try not to call him a Nazi or Hitler, but I did say he was a Nazi.
Did you think he was a Nazi, or was you being hyperbolic?
No, I must have been hyperbolic then, because I never...
You never knew Trump was a Nazi.
I must have been hyperbolic.
I'm even more confused. This conversation you were talking about how we shouldn't flamethrow and call people names
Again,
and call everybody who's
still pausing it. It's hilarious. Again, it's like, okay, so why should we believe you now? Why should we believe what you're saying now? Because when you were running for president, literally like a year or less ago, you went on podcasts and said that Donald Trump is a Nazi. That was your unambiguous claim. It was incredibly, it was like stated in the most blatant way possible. Trump is a Nazi. And now here you are, less than a year later, and you're like, well, did I say that? I didn't mean it. Hell, of course I didn't mean that. I mean, I say things all the time. What do you think this is? But again, you literally called Trump a Nazi, and now you're saying that the line in the sand is if the person is a Nazi. Oh, I won't talk to them if they're a Nazi. That's why I wouldn't share a Twitter space with Nick Fuentes, but I will with people that I was explicitly calling Nazis less than a year ago. It's crazy. If anything, the Charlie Kirks of the world, the Tucker Carlsons of the world, and the Donald Trumps of the world, they're actually just a more sophisticated version of Nick Fuentes. Like they basically share a lot of Nick Fuentes' ideology.
First of all, like I said, Jink, CENK, Alawink, whatever the fuck his name is, dude has been anti-black from the absolute very start. If you listen to him close enough. So this linking up with Charlie Kirk, hell, he got a Israeli woman or Palestinian, whatever the hell Anna is supposed to be. This bitch up there, excuse my French, this lady up there dressed and trying to look like she's some damn blonde chick from Russia. I don't know who the fuck she thinks she is, or maybe she is from Ukraine or something. Either way it go, she is literally trying to look as close to a Fox host as I have ever seen someone that was a foreigner. Dead serious. She wants to be one of those white women on there. I forget this that goofy ass lady name with the strong fucking football player chin that be on there, Laura Ingraham. She wants to be Laura Ingraham so bad, and he been sitting across from her talking this anti-black shit on code for about 2-3 years now. And so, once again, to me and millions of other black folks, I know I'm not the only one, we've been wondering, the same way we wondering like with y'all, and a lot of white folks who call themselves doing this work and standing in the gap. Are you really serious about this? Because if it took y'all this long to catch the fact that Jink, CENK, Alawink, whatever the hell his name is, has been up to this type of bullshit for a long time, it's just steady been building up. I knew we was going to get here to where he was tap dancing with white folks. Why? Or white supremacists. Why? Because people like CENK, Jink, whatever the fuck his name is, once they come here, the idea is to get as close to white nationalism or white supremacy or white people as humanly possible. If me and Jink were coming down the street, we both got on suits and ties. Look at me. Are you likely to run from me or from Jink? Y'all ain't fucking with niggas. Y'all will always be more comfortable with anybody that comes to this country, as long as they skin ain't dark and they lips ain't bubbly like mine. You understand me?
You want to call actual white supremacy. White supremacy. Why would you call it Nazi?
No, I'm saying that I must have that must have been hyperbolic because I tried hard not to call him a Nazi, so that must have been a mistake. So
Backpedaling so
and
hard.
here's my distinction, and I've explained this many times. I'm worried about Trump's fascism because he showed it to us. So on January 6th, but before January 6th as well, he did a big elector plot. He then agitated people to go bomb the Capitol.
Sorry, once again, most people at this point use Nazi and fascist interchangeably. Let's be honest. So, yeah, literally a week before Donald Trump was elected, Jake was calling him a fascist. He pushed back on Anna, pretty glorious fashion, kind of shut her down because she was like, "Is he really a fascist?" And Jake was like, "Well, what do you think fascism means? What's your definition of fascism?" Because Trump certainly fits mine, right? Well, guess what, Jake? Fascist, Nazi, most people use them interchangeably. When you call Trump a Nazi, people don't literally think that means Trump goes out there wearing a swastika. They don't literally think that he's like doing exactly what Adolf Hitler did. He's not. Obviously, no one thinks that Trump is literally, by definition, a Nazi. But saying that, yeah, of course I called him a fascist, but I didn't go so far as to call him a Nazi, that's just semantic garbage.
Capitol. The point was to delay the proceedings.
Or was it that, once again, like I said, all that shit that Jink was doing before was the overplay for the underlay? And what that means is it was the banana in the tailpipe. The moment he already identified his base of TYT as being 30-plus-year-old white males. Once he came on Black Star Network, which probably has 85% black women and men, specifically men over the age of 30 and up, probably. We wasn't fucking with him. We wasn't fucking with him because he wasn't serious. How you gonna just throw your head in the ring after y'all just got through arguing about the Palestinian war and how it's fuck affirmative action and how all this other shit, as if niggas had all of a sudden magically, like the leprechaun, magically forgot about all this shit. You know? And so as he's sitting up there talking, arguing with Roland Martin, Unc didn't even take him serious. He wasn't even questioning him about that presidential shit. He was talking to him about, are you serious? This is y'all only play? You know? And I was hoping that he lit his ass up for that punk ass affirmative action comment him and dumbass Anna wannabe white girl made up out of her mouth. Once again, no offense to white women, but this chick is a wannabe. She's pretending to be so she can get as close to power as she possibly can. Which means, fuck them. I've been stopped fucking with TYT. And anybody who's non-black who just found out that TYT is anti-black as shit, you need to be taking a long look in the mirror, because you might be too. I'm just saying.
Steal the election. So I've been super clear about that. That's why I hated Trump. That's why I fought just tooth and nail against Trump. So those are fascist tendencies, and I have no problem calling it fascist. But it is not Nazi. Nazi is a completely different thing where they killed 13 million people and had death camps. Trump didn't have death camps. He didn't kill those people. But for the right,
He's a Charles Kirk.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into Nick Fuentes, but you still comfortable about him.
No, but Nick Fuentes, so that he defends the Nazis.
Oh, you're only a Nazi if you call yourself a Nazi. If you don't actually have the armband tattoo, Yeah. Also, what the fuck is the main objective of the Republican Party? What was the number one campaign promise that Donald Trump made? Mass deportations. Now, you can make some economic argument for why that's necessary, but let me tell you, I think there were some mass deportations under Adolf Hitler as well, off on trains to various camps. Doesn't that kind of sound like mass deportation? Is it really that much different?
Sure, I say was justified by the economy.
Yeah.
Is that the main thing they ran on? See, once again, when they say mass deportations, the reason why they tossed in Haitians eating cats, the reason why they tossed in any brown skinned damn immigrant, is because they ain't just talking about Latinos. They talking about even if your ass, your grandmama or your mama gave birth to you here, your black ass got to go. That's what type time they on. So just like once again, this is the comfortability of white privilege. Once again, I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just saying it's comfortable. When I think about immigration, I think about how, okay, if they talking about Haitians, my wife could be assumed as Haitian. My kids could be. I could be. Trump and them don't seem like the type of people that's gonna be dotting the I's and crossing the T's and making sure we check registries and shit like that so we don't get rid of decent, dignified citizens. They don't look like they give a damn about that. If your ass got dreads and you look like you doing some shit and you ain't gonna kiss and lick the boots, then your ass can be getting shipped out. That's how my mind thinks as a black person. I don't look at it as, oh yeah, this one sad poor lady from my sister's job. Once again, I ain't taking no shots because I believe y'all got good hearts. They in the right place. Y'all really about certain things. But once again, all I'm saying is if you gonna ride, please do the whole thing. Don't just do a little bit. Ride or die. Like you gotta go through the fire with motherfuckers. And if you fall over and end up in that fire, then that's what you call a hero. You know, that's somebody who gets told great stories about. But you can't ride all the way until the fucking seat get hot and then tell her, fuck you, motherfucker, push your ass out. And now it's every man for himself because that's what this election was. That's what it was after Obama became president. Hell, that's what it was when motherfucking Kennedy was assassinated. All that was anti-blackness. And once again, so to act like you don't live in a country that will hang, rape, pillage, and do all kind of unnamed shit to people, and then 100 or 200, 400, 500, 600 years later, oh, we not them. We better than that. Really? And then we sitting here all surprised that these people could be motherfucking trying to basically repeat what Hitler and them did or be in the same type of atmosphere as Hitler and them. Like this country has been very comfortable with this type of shit from the absolute beginning, middle, end now. I ain't gonna say the ending because we don't know if that's the case, but it's definitely seeming like this bike, the wheels is falling off this motherfucker. Like seriously though, I can feel the training wheels shaking on the bike now as we rolling. Like this shit is getting rocky. You know, I'm just saying.